information within the last hour on fighting the opioid epidemic in Jacksonville.
We just received this photo of Mayor Lenny Curry signing a pilot program into effect. It is a 6-month program through St. Vincent's Hospital, with the goal is to help 300 people in that time frame. Channel 4's Janice Harris is joining us now live from the medical examiner's office downtown. And Janice, this comes just one day after we learned 2 new dangerous forms of fentanyl are hitting the streets.
Yeah, that photo is a sign of the good news fighting the opioid epidemic, but behind me, the medical examiner's office is a reflection of where those dead bodies end up. And typically, according to local doctors, they're finding street drugs now laced with fentanyl, but also what's called a fentanyl analog, even stronger than fentanyl and more deadly. It initially came from the Ohio Valley, and officials say it's now here in Jacksonville. The medical examiner's office gets drug overdose bodies every week. At first, doctors were finding drugs laced with fentanyl. Now they are finding more fentanyl analogs. Dr. Stephen Goodfriend says it's becoming more difficult to save lives in the hospital. Why does that happen?
Yeah, these analogs are actually stronger than typical fentanyl or heroin. They're more difficult. They saturate the receptor. So when we use the antagonist Narcan, naltrexone, it won't work.
Narcan is used to reverse the overdose, but fentanyl analogs are so strong, sometimes Narcan doesn't work. This trend is happening as the rate of 911 overdose calls to Jacksonville Fire and Rescue double every year.
Over last year, we saw approximately 60% increase over last year.
New data shows, according to the Jacksonville Fire and Rescue Department, they had approximately 100 overdose calls for 2014 and 2015. 2016, over 200 calls on average. And in 2017, they're averaging over 300 overdose calls a month. So where are these fentanyl analogs coming from? Dr. Raymond Pond, who is working on a pilot program to fight opioid addiction, says the fentanyl analogs were first seen in the Ohio Valley states.
We figured that if in the Ohio Valley, they're probably going to end up coming our way, and sure enough, acetylfentanyl has been recognized as one of the analogs that is now in our area. This is very disconcerting. It's just getting scarier and scarier.
A mystery cocktail that is killing people every day. And it's considered a deadly cocktail. You know, there are at least 40 different analogs out there of fentanyl, so there are many dangerous variations to this drug. Also, we want you to be aware that local officials are begging the public, if you have a drug addiction, seek treatment, because these drugs are deadly and could kill you the next time you try them. Also, we have an entire list of the drugs that medical examiners are seeing throughout the state of Florida. We have provided a link to that list on our website with this story, news4jax.com. Live at the medical examiner's office downtown, Janice Harris, Channel 4, the local station.
Thank you, Janice. And earlier today, we got a new report from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement about the number of overdose deaths in the state. Jacksonville has the second highest number of deaths due to fentanyl, with 281 people dying last year. The highest was West Palm Beach with 331. Now, when you break it down by age, the majority of people in Jacksonville who die from fentanyl are between the ages of 35 and 50. The next age group is 26 to 34. You can read the full report inside today's story, and you'll find it on news4jax.com's homepage. In our primetime special, Opioid Nation, we showed you what opioids are. They include OxyContin, Percocet, Vicodin, and Percodan. Drugs that are not opioids include cocaine, methamphetamine, ecstasy, LSD, ketamine, and steroids. To read the latest opioid news, including how this crisis is taking a toll on Florida children, go to news4jax.com/opioids.
First, I would like to shout out Queen Aunt for sending me this particular story right here that you just saw before you. And notice that in the news piece when the white lady was talking, she said we're going to break this down by age. Was anyone else hearing to see her break this down by race? Notice they left that completely out. I couldn't help but think that if these people were black, they would have mentioned race somewhere in there. That's just me. That's just me. I could be wrong, but I also am very certain that I could be right. But yeah, So it looks like there's this new super drug, this new super fentanyl, that's stronger and more potent than regular fentanyl. And of course it will be more stronger than heroin, because fentanyl is stronger than heroin. So powerful, in fact, that even Narcan can't stop its impact on the body once it gets into the body. And it would be and it's in Florida. It would be in Florida. I feel like Florida is like the testing ground for a lot of drugs, for a lot of big drugs. But of course, Ohio, the state of Ohio, will always be the hub. But it'll be a matter of time before it gets to the hub of heroin, or anywhere else that it wants to travel, I should say. And of course, you know, as usual, I feel absolutely nothing, and I'm very certain that y'all don't feel anything too. I mean, we're all family here at the end of the day. But now they have more problems on their hands. It seems like whenever they feel like they can curb this issue, just like that, something else pops up in this place and does something 10 times worse. I'm telling you, this opioid plague isn't going anywhere, so they better buckle in, saddle down, whatever they got to do, and see what they can do to combat this. This is like the damn Strain or the Walking Dead. And remember that video I did on my old channel where it was talking about why black people aren't affected by this opioid plague. I bet the Caucasian wishes they were one of us now, but let's be real here. We are glad that they aren't. And we are also glad that some of them would rather not be. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. The links will be in the description. Have your notifications on.